Hello and welcome to this week's yoga session where we're going to be focusing on heart opener. This will include stretches which really open up the chest, open up the heart, and our peak pose will be in the lines of back bends. So I encourage you to sit down on your mat, get comfortable, and we're just going to start with a simple breath exercise. So this is the 3-part breath where we're going to be starting with our stomach, our rib cage, and then our collarbones, inhaling slowly and then exhaling. So once you're ready, get seated. And we're just going to do a deep inhale through the nose, closing the eyes, and exhaling through the mouth. Now this time slowly inhale from your stomach, your rib cage, your collarbones, hold, and exhale through your nose. Inhaling from the stomach, the rib cage, the collarbones, hold, and exhaling. Inhaling from the stomach, the rib cage, the collarbones, hold, and exhaling. Inhaling from the stomach, the rib cage, collarbones, and exhaling. Inhaling from the stomach, rib cage, collarbones, hold, and exhaling. One last time. Inhaling from the stomach, rib cage, collarbones, hold, and exhaling. Now slowly opening up your eyes. We're going to bring our arms all the way up to the sky, linking the hands together and pushing all the way up. And releasing the arms down beside us. We're going to lift the right arm up and bring it all the way over to the left. Bringing it back. Then all the way over to the left. All the way back. And all the way over to the left. And this time I invite you to stay here. Breathing in and out and ensuring that your knees are not coming much off of the mat. If you want to advance the stretch, you can also look up to the ceiling. And bringing it all the way back up, releasing it down and bringing the opposite arm, the left, all the way up and over. Back to center, up and over, back to center, and up and over. And this time I invite you to stay, breathing in and out, and again ensuring that your knees are not coming much off of the mat. And to advance the stretch, look up to the ceiling. Keeping the arm away from the ear. And bringing your arm all the way back up, the opposite as well to meet, stretching all the way up to the ceiling, and release. I'm just going to turn to the side so you can see me. We're doing cat and cow. So your hands on your knees. You're going to bring your chin down to your chest and hollow, curve in your stomach. Bring your shoulder blades apart. Really curving your spine. And then opposite, head all the way back, shoulder blades together, and that nice curve on your back. Reverse, bringing the stomach in, chin to chest, shoulder blades apart. And then again, head all the way back up, shoulder blades together, and a lovely curve in your back. Back to center, bring your arms or your hands behind you. You're just going to push your chest all the way up to the ceiling, head all the way back. Really pushing your hands into the ground and pushing the chest away. And then release. Back to center. Then one more time, and you're going to come up onto your knees, pushing your hips all the way up to the ceiling. Continue to breathe through your nose. And then slowly release back onto the mat. Now coming onto your hands and your knees into tabletop position and into cat and cow from here. So your knees are hip width distance apart, hands shoulder width distance apart. Bring your head all the way back. Curve your back and bring your shoulder blades together. And reverse chin to chest. Bringing in the stomach, tucking it in, and shoulder blades apart. Then reversing, bringing the shoulder blades together, head back, back curved. And reverse chin to chest, tucking in the stomach, shoulder blades apart. Back to center. Tuck your toes underneath your feet and push your legs all the way up, and we'll go into down dog. Just walking your feet out and breathing in and out through your nose. Pushing your hands into the mat so that your shoulder blades are away from your ears. Then slowly walk your feet to the top of the mat. Release your arms and hold on to your elbows and just rock yourself from side to side. And now we'll go into a bit of a flow. So bring yourself all the way up into mountain, all the way back down, touching the mat. Halfway up into tabletop and release. All the way back up. This time, little back bend. And then all the way back down. Hands on the mat, walking your feet back into plank. Slowly lower yourself to chaturanga, up to upward facing dog, and back down to downward facing dog. And walk your legs out. Walk your feet up to the top of the mat, all the way up, and all the way back down. Halfway up, tabletop, and release. All the way back up, little back bend, and all the way back down. Walking back into plank. Slowly lower to chaturanga, up to upward facing dog, and back down to downward facing dog. Slowly walk your legs to the top of the mat, all the way up, and then all the way back down. Halfway up, tabletop, and release. All the way up, little back bend, and all the way back down. Walking yourself back to plank, down to chaturanga, up to upward facing dog, and back down to downward facing dog. And walking your legs out. Now we'll do one last time, just picking up the pace ever so slightly. So, walking your legs up to the top of the mat, all the way up, all the way back down, halfway up, release, all the way up, little back bend, all the way back down, back into plank, down to chaturanga, up to upward facing dog, and back down to downward facing dog. And walking yourself out. Breathing in and out. Keeping your breath steady throughout the whole practice. Now slowly walking your legs up to the top of the mat. Releasing your hands once more. Holding onto your elbows and turning from side to side. Then bringing your arms all the way up into a little back bend, and this time we're going to hold it a little bit longer. You can also straighten out your arms. And then back to center, bringing your arms down to prayer position. Move your weight onto your left leg and bring your right leg up and behind you into crescent lunge. And once you have your balance, bring your arms up overhead. Really finding yourself deep into the stretch and realigning yourself if you need. You want to have your knee above your ankle and ensure that you're in line. Then flatten out your right leg behind you, and you're going to twist yourself all the way over to the right with your left knee still bent. You're facing towards the right side so that your hips are really facing to the outer side. Then bring your right hand down onto your right leg and your left arm up and behind. Your left knee is still bent, and you really feel that stretch on your left hand side. Then windmill your hands over to where your left leg is. Turn your weight, your right leg onto your toes, and you're going to release your left leg up into the air, into three-legged dog. Really pushing your hands into the mat, that your shoulders are up and away from your ears. Then from here, you're shifting your weight onto your right hand and your right foot, bending the left knee behind you. You're going to come into wild thing. Your left arm up in the air, really pushing away the weight on your right hand. Then bringing yourself back into downward dog, walking your feet out, walking your legs up halfway there, and shifting your weight onto your right foot. You're going to bring your left leg up and the rest of your body also up at the same time, really pushing your weight into your right leg. We'll come into warrior three, really finding your balance here and bringing your hands and arms behind you. And don't worry if you're shaking, this is a very difficult transition. Ensure that you're breathing in and out through your nose. And bringing your left leg up and over, you're then going to bring it in front of you as much as you can and try and hook onto your toes with your two fingers and bringing it up and over to the side. I'll just move over so you can see it. So you're essentially going into this pose here. Again, really breathing through your nose, tucking in the core. You can really do a lot more than you think that you can. It's more the thought. Breathing in and out, just relaxing into the pose. And then releasing. Then from here, continuing still on that right leg, really strengthening it up. Bring the left hand onto the left foot, right arm out in front. We're going to push it up into dancer pose, really opening up the chest to open up the heart. And then slowly come back and release. Deep inhale and exhale. Now walk back to the top of the mat. Bring your arms up over the ears, overhead next to the ears, and we'll come back into that back bend. Back up to center. From here, bring your hands down into prayer. Shift your weight onto your right leg and bring the left leg up and behind into crescent lunge. We do the routine all over again on the other side. When you're ready, you can bring your arms up, overhead, finding your balance and ensuring the knee is above the ankle on the right leg. Then flattening out the left foot onto the ground, shifting your weight over to the left to ensure that your hip is facing forward but your right leg is still bent. And just softening into this stretch. Breathing in and out. Bringing the left arm up and behind and the right up and over. Ensuring that the right arm is away from the head in this nice curved shape. And really feeling that stretch on the right hand side. Then windmilling your arms all the way up and over next to the right foot. You're going to release the right foot up into the air into three-legged dog. Really pushing your hands into the mat and straightening up the right leg. Breathing in and out. Relaxing into this pose. Really pushing the hands up and away and the shoulders away from the ears. Sorry. Then shifting onto the left hand side, bending the right leg up and over and behind, and then bringing the right arm up and behind into this half sort of back bend pose. Really pushing the hips up into the air. A lot of weight on the left hand. Pushing it up and away. Then bringing yourself back over and into down dog. Walking your feet out. Then walking your feet to the middle of the mat and bringing your hands back a little bit. Shift the weight onto the left leg, bringing the right leg up and behind. We're going to come into that warrior three pose. You could, whatever is easier, maybe you bring your hands to prayer first and then release the arms behind you. Even if your leg is shaking, just keep yourself steady in your mind, in your breath, and the rest will follow. Then bringing that right leg through. I'll turn again so you can see. You're bringing the right leg up, hooking it with your two fingers, bringing it up and over to the side. Again, pushing the weight into the left leg, tucking in the core, and feeling, even when you feel the stability going a little bit, just even your breath out a little bit. And steady yourself. Everyone has one side that's a little bit more difficult or easier than the other. Then releasing yourself down. And then again with the same leg, still on the left, standing, right hand to right foot, bringing it up into dancer pose and opening up the chest in front of you. And slowly releasing it down. And we're just going to come down onto our hands and knees. And then lower yourself down onto your stomach. Then from here, flatten out your feet and have your hands next to your chest. Looking forward, breathing in and out, get your breath back. And then with an inhale, simply push yourself up. Only your head and chest is coming up. The stomach should be still on the mat, and you can bring your head back as far as you can. The stretch is really coming from your lower back here. So your hands are not pushing yourself up. It's really coming from your back, and your hands are just there as a support. And when you're ready, you can lower yourself down and turn your face to the to the right so that your left ear is lying on the ground. Then come back to center, inhale, and we'll go up one more time. So head and chest come up off of the mat, stomach and belly button still on the mat, feet are also on the mat, and you're breathing in and out. And with the next exhale, come all the way down and turn to the left with the right ear onto the mat. Then face forward. Bring the palms of the hands onto the mat next to your thighs. Heels are together, looking forward, and with the next inhale, bring up your legs and your chest up off of the mat. Breathing in and out through the nose, feeling that nice, lovely stretch on the back and the chest up. Then slowly release down in the next exhale and face to the right. Then bring the head up, facing forward. One more time, bringing the feet and legs off of the ground, chest up, facing forward, and breathing in and out through the nose. And slowly release yourself onto the ground, turning over to the left and relaxing the head onto the mat. Then bringing your hands next to your chest and pushing yourself up onto your knees. Knees are hip width distance apart. Bringing your right hand on top of your right lower back, and then the left onto the left lower back, head all the way back, and you're pushing your hands that your hips are coming away, and then bringing your right hand onto the outer side of your right foot if you can reach, and then the left onto the left. If this is too much for you, just stay with your hands on your lower back and really push your hips up and away. And don't forget to breathe. Then bring your left hand to your left lower back, right to the right back, and coming down into child pose. Then coming back up onto your knees. Right hand to the right lower back, left hand to left lower back, head all the way back. Right hand to outer right foot, left hand to outer left foot, and then push up and away the hips. One more time in this lovely pose. Really opening up the chest and feeling that stretch in the lower back. And then left hand onto left lower back, right hand onto the lower back, and coming back into child pose. Forehead onto the mat. And coming up onto the hands and knees, you're just going to bring your legs through your hands and come onto your back. Feet onto the mat, feet hip width distance apart. Inhale and bring the hips all the way up to the sky. And arms up and underneath, interlocked. Chin to chest. Then breathing in and out from this pose, really feeling your glutes squeeze together as you push your hips up and away up into the sky. And slowly releasing down onto the mat, bringing the knees in towards the chest and giving yourself a little rock and massaging your spine. And feet back onto the mat, hip width distance apart. This time coming either into the exact same pose, so bringing the hips up, or if you feel like advancing the pose, you can bring your hands next to your ears and push up your hips and your hands push into the mat so that they're up and away into a lovely bridge pose. Realign yourself if you want to go a little bit closer to advance the stretch even that little bit more. And bring your hands back to where they were. Chin to chest, lower your head onto the mat, and then followed by the rest of your body. Bring the knees in towards the chest and give your spine a little massage. Breathing in and out. Now one more time, releasing the legs onto the mat, feet hip width distance apart. Either the first variation of the bridge or the second variation with the hands next to the ears, pushing all the way up, realigning your pose. And if you want to advance it even more, you can straighten out your legs onto the mat, pushing the chest up and away, really feeling the expansion of your heart and opening yourself up to whatever emotions might be there. Then bend your legs again, chin to chest, lower your head down, followed by the rest of your body, bringing your knees into your chest, rocking yourself and giving your spine a little massage. And slowly rock yourself up and rock yourself back down. And then back up, back down, back up, and back down, and one more time back up. Bringing your knees in front of you so that you're sitting on them. Opening up the back, the feet, so that you can sit nicely in between. If you have any knee pain here, you can open up the knees a little bit and give yourself some space. And then from here, bring your right hand onto your right foot, the left hand onto the left foot, coming down onto the right elbow, followed by the left elbow, head onto the mat, followed by the rest of your body. And if you want to advance this pose, you can also bring your right arm up and behind, and then the left arm follows. Ensuring that your back is curved and not forcing it onto the mat. And really breathing in and out through the nose into this pose. This can be quite uncomfortable for some people, but it's really a great pose to strengthen your knees, your ankles, to stretch them. Sometimes the pain is there to tell you that you need to work on that area ever so slightly. Then when you're ready, you can bring the right hand onto the right foot, the left onto the left, bringing yourself up from your elbows and coming forward and onto your stomach. We're coming down onto a half frog pose. Left elbow onto the mat, keeping you up. Legs straight out and behind you. Bring the right leg up and behind and hold onto it with the right hand. And really pushing yourself, looking forward. And if you want to advance the pose, you can push yourself up, and that will really stretch out that back. And that will really stretch out that back. Then release the right hand and the right leg and the right hand, and bring the right hand elbow onto the mat, and then opposite, so left leg is bent, holding on with the left arm. And when you want to advance this pose, you can bring your right arm straight and really pushing against from the mat, and just looking forward in front of you. Then releasing the leg, pushing yourself up, and bringing your legs up and through. We're coming onto our back. We do the last pose before Savasana. So from lying down, bring your right leg into this half bent position. That's the left leg. I don't know if I said the right. Then bring with the right hand up and over, and you're going to bring it up and over towards the right hand side. Left arm out to the side and looking over to the left. Breathing in and out into this twist. And then bringing it back. This time the right leg comes up. With the left hand, you bring it up and over to the left side, right arm behind and looking over to the right. And then back to center, releasing the legs, bringing the hands next to you with the palms facing up. Breathing in and releasing for the mouth. I encourage you just to take a minute to relax into the mat, to give thanks for the time that you took for yourself today to come into this heart opener session. If any emotions came up and that you're able to release anything today, then know that you'll come away from this session feeling that little bit lighter, that little bit more open, and a little bit less weight carrying on your shoulders. Often we hold on to emotions or even suppress them, and we don't realize that we're carrying them around. But it's so important to get onto the mat or to go over the way that you're feeling and be able to release any heavy emotions that have been bringing you down. Sometimes you don't even realize it until you get on the mat or until something happens that stresses you out. By releasing and letting go, we can focus more on the positives and be open to a higher energy level. When you're ready, you can move your hands and your toes. Bring your knees up towards your chest. Give yourself a hug. And rock yourself up into seated position. Take a deep inhale and release through the mouth. Thank you very much for joining me in this heart opener session. I look forward to seeing you at the next one. Namaste.